Dad, what are you doing? You've been out here for like a whole week.
I'm not going inside until the Sentinels come. Signature required.
You've lost your mind.
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it's Saturday, and we know what that means. It's time for weekly purchases, that time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, Post Office, UPS, FedEx, the bane of my existence lately, and that old outlaw Waylon Jennings. It's time for weekly purchases, and we also take a look at the news of the week, stuff that excited me that will probably excite you as well. And we jump into it right away like we do every single week out there, and we review what happened on the channel this week. This week, like usual, a ton of videos on the channel, a lot of great unboxings going on. We unboxed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon Chrome Dome, big figure, face paint, no, mask, yes. So Chrome Dome, I'm all in on that one. Check out that video on the channel. Gunslinger Spawn, one of those ones where I wasn't planning on getting it, saw it in person. Did I make the right choice? Check out that video to make sure. Emma joined us on the channel. Yes, my daughter Emma, 6 years old. We got down to the bottom about her serial killer tendencies, as the way she eats donuts from some time and the way she eats a Kit Kat. But spoiler alert, I later found out Emma took the fall for Elle. Elle, my oldest daughter, was the one that did the donut trick. I can't believe this. Maybe one of these days we'll talk to her. I might have two daughters that could very possibly be serial killers. More to come on that one in the future years of the channel. We also did our weekly Jakks Classic Superstars unboxing, looking at the Ringside Fest figures this week. Next week we'll have Ringside Fest figures part 2. Two of the greatest packs in the history of Jakks Classic Superstars, so make sure you're looking out for that one next Tuesday. We also did a Showdown Basics from Mattel. We don't do a lot of basics, but I've got some building up, so we've got a few basic videos coming on the channel. That's where that Showdown one was. Top 5s continue every single Thursday, a different top 5 list on the channel where I rack and stack, rank my favorite figures. It could be anything, but we did the Demon Finn Balor this week. It lost out to Razor Ramon last week in the poll. So we did the Demon this week. A little dated, but it worked out okay, as now he is back, so it makes sense there. We also did a favorite video of many of you guys on the channel. It's So Hard to Say Goodbye. Yes, we did another version of It's So Hard to Say Goodbye. Every time I'm dumping something from my collection, I'm going to do one of those videos. Every once in a blue moon, you'll get one of those. So check out that video. See what I sold this week, and the profits were beautiful. I can tell you that much. I was very, very pleased how much money I made on those, so I was very happy there. We also unboxed Snake Eyes, Akiko, Scarlet. If you guys were playing the long game on the Classified Series movie editions, check those videos out. Those are hitting your Target stores right now. Of course, they'll be everywhere under the sun eventually. A Marvel Select video. You guys know I love big figures. Titanium Man, a figure I feel like I've been waiting eternity for. Finally came across the table. We unboxed that on the channel as well this week. Of course, we did our daily Star Wars unboxings every day in 2021, possibly beyond, probably not. As you guys probably are fully aware, the Star Wars videos don't get quite the views as some of the other videos on the channel. I love doing the Star Wars videos, though, because they're really not about Star Wars. It's just a time where I can make myself laugh and get the cheap pop, so I do it, but gotta hang in there. I never give up on anything. I never give up on a joke, if that's the case, but get a power through the rest of the year. Guinness Book World Records, I can feel it. I can feel that record. So more to come on the Star Wars videos. Make sure you're checking those out on the channel. And make sure you're subscribing to the channel. 400 subscribers, give or take, away from 10,000. Once we get to 10,000 subscribers, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff. Ultimate Warrior Top 10. Giveaways. Hopefully my dad will be on the channel. Maybe a Warlord unboxing. We'll see how the timing goes with that one. And a lot more stuff. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. What are you waiting for at this point? I think there's like 64% of you viewers out there that watch my videos that aren't subscribed. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. 10,000 is going to be here soon. So we'll have a big celebration, a big party for 10,000. So be prepared for that. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff everybody tells you. But I did forget to mention, we did our figure hunting video this week. I was supposed to go to Chicago, but the powers of Zoom compelled me. Luckily, I got to do my big presentation via Zoom, so I did not have to travel. Some good and bad. I would have liked to hit some stores, but I'm a busy guy. 11 hours or so on the road. That eats into a lot of work hours I can do. So I got a lot of work done this week. Next week, 100% though, I will be up in Wisconsin. I will be in Minnesota. I will be in northern Iowa. Look for me out on those mean streets. I'll be out there. Going to hit a lot of stores at night. So we'll see what I come across with. It'll be a great adventure on the figure hunting, multi-state figure hunting adventure next week, so stay tuned for that for sure. Also, some big t-shirt news this week. Go to Pro Wrestling Tees, search Kyle Peterson, and find the brand new Kyle Peterson t-shirt we got up. Support the channel. Never change. Never leave. Dance across the sand. Dance across our hearts. You know who I'm talking about. A nice parody-inspired t-shirt from Duran Duran, or Duran Duran, depending where you're from. We all know that album cover from back in the day. A nice twist on that album cover about our girl that I visit on a daily basis, if you see my figure hunting videos there. So support the channel. Go to Kyle Peterson on Pro Wrestling Tees. Get your very own you-know-who t-shirt. Beautiful. I must say beautiful. I'm going to have to pick one up myself, of course. So there it is. We also got to talk about, you saw it at the open of the show, Sentinel Watch 2021. Deal with Sentinels. Why don't they come to my house? I have to sit out there. I took a little break from being outside. It's getting hot. It's humid. There's rain. It's a mess out there. And I had to come in. I said, I'm going to film weekly purchases, then I'll be back at my post. Right now, Emma's sitting out there with Lemmy. Hopefully they take Emma's signature, because signature is required. We all know that with these Sentinels. But I got 3 Sentinels. Originally supposed to be delivered September 9th. All of a sudden they went back to pending. And no sign, no email since. I know other people are waiting out there, but come on. I feel like I've been waiting an eternity. It's terrible. Hopefully by the end of September they'll get some movement on them, but I'd really like to unbox that Sentinel. I got a lot of ideas for it, and they're fading by the day, I see. So we'll see. We'll see if I ever get the Sentinel. Stay tuned on the channel. One of these days they'll probably come through the mail, I hope. Hopefully FedEx. But I've had a lot of issues with FedEx. A lot of issues. I've had, I think, 11 things pending forever. A couple things came this week, thankfully, but I still got a ton of stuff that's just sitting there pending. I don't know. I know the Loot Crate stuff's in there, the 3 Sentinels. I got a Ringside Collectibles order. Just sitting there, just chilling in the pending, just waiting. I keep refreshing. Not going anywhere. So there it is. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it all. Have you got your Sentinel? I guess tell me in the comments if you got one. Maybe you're one of the lucky... I'd like to say one of the lucky few, but it seems like everybody's got their Sentinels, and very few of us have not got them yet. But stay tuned. Like I said, stay tuned. But how about we get into some news this week? That's what we always start weekly purchases. Weekly purchases is a big part of this episode every single Saturday, the back half. But the front half with the news is starting to really take over the channel. There's not as much stuff out there right now, but a lot of news out there right now. So we're going to dive into the news, and we're going to start with wrestling, a favorite of mine and a favorite of a lot of you guys as well. Big news this week. Huge news from AEW Jazzwares, as broke by Jeremy Padawer, the old CEO, president, whatever he is for Jazzwares. Guru, Toy Guru, I think that's fair. He let us know this week that Owen Hart, yes, that Owen Hart, not the one that works at the skating arena down the street from my house, the real Owen Hart that was a wrestler. Yeah, you guys know that Owen Hart. Finally getting a figure of Owen Hart. It's been a long time. It's been back to the Bone Cruncher days. We haven't had an Owen Hart figure. We all know the story there. We're not going to get into that here, but it's finally, the deals have been brokered. They are coming. Owen Hart figures, I got to think we're going to get a ton of them. It'll be interesting what Owen looks like. We've seen micro brawlers from him from the last year. I got to assume some of those outfits will be there. There'll be some walking that line, I think, with some of his WWF Day gear, but we'll see where it goes. But I know a lot of people love Owen Hart. I was an Owen Hart fan. I would never say I'm a huge Owen Hart fan, but I definitely appreciate a lot of you guys that have been, if he's your favorite wrestler, having to wait all these years, that's hard times right there. So I'm very happy for you guys. I'm happy for myself too, because I'm definitely buying them. But it's a lot of things. A lot of people never thought we'd ever get an Owen Hart figure. I thought there was too much money on the table. I've always said we'll get one eventually. It won't be WWE, we know that, but we'd get one eventually, be it Storm Collectibles, Cella, Jazzwares, whoever. There's too much money out there, be it for industry people getting the money or charities getting the money, and that seems to be the case here. Why would you not do that? Why wouldn't you make money for a charity in this case? It makes all the sense in the world. So 2022, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan Danielson, we're going to get a lot of Adam Cole, now Owen Hart. We're going to get a lot of new faces in that AEW line, when they still have a ton of old faces they haven't even made. So it's just insanity. It's insanity how many figures are going to be popped out from AEW in 2022 and beyond. If you remember the Jax days, buckle up. It's Jax Days 2.0. That's what it's going to be. And I remember those very well. Thank you. So Owen Hart, that is really the biggest news of this week. That's a huge news for tons and tons of people out there. That's going to be a big time seller. I hope everybody can get a shot at that. We'll see what Ringside prices that at. We'll see, because speaking of Ringside, Unmatched Series 2 went up for pre-order. December ship date. We're seeing those price increases creep into Ringside Collectibles as well. So we did have a little bit of a price hike on those Unmatched. I say it all the time on the channel. It's been a staple of the channel for a year plus right now. We all vote with our wallet. If we don't like the price increase, pass on it. If you do like it, buy it. But don't complain about it if you pay the money for it. I mean, I guess you can complain. It's your right. You can complain about it. But the only way things are going to change is if people don't buy. And that goes for not just toys, anything. I tell you what, grocery industry, I was out shopping this week with my wife and kids, of course. And man, sticker shock was crazy. Looking at some of these steak prices out there, I might have to give up steak. I've always been a steak guy. I'm a New York strip guy, personally. That's what I like, the New York strip. But when New York strip is like $15 for just a little one that I could eat 2 of very easily, my daughter could eat 2 of them. That's an expensive dinner. It's unbelievable how much stuff has jumped just in the last month. I think there'll be a lot more stuff. If it hasn't jumped yet, it will October 1st. And then I think there'll be more price increases come January 1st. I know. So there you go. But it's just amazing how all that is, the sticker shock out there. And that's going to affect people's ability to buy some figures. We've talked about it in the past on the channel. I've dropped the majority of my 3 3/4 vintage collection. You're going to see today. I'm not jumping in on all that stuff. And there's a few other lines out there I really want. The Simpsons Super 7, I'm really interested in those, but I'm kind of thinking, do I really need to go down that rabbit hole? I could save that money, put it towards offset some of the prices of some other things out there. Yeah, everything's expensive, and toys are very pricey, as you guys are fully aware of as of the sticker shock on the store shelves as we speak right now. So there it is right there with Owen. A little note, though, if you do want to save some money, kind of not really, but you can save your money from scalpers. Big Lots, select Big Lots. I haven't checked mine in town yet. I doubt they have anything. They never have anything. But it seems like they were arriving with the Target exclusive Royal Rumble figures and Fan Central that were Amazon exclusives. Some of those have been popping up at Big Lots, $20, which really isn't a very good deal, but it's definitely better than paying $40 for a scalper for an Ultimate Warrior. So check your Big Lots if you're looking for those. So weird how distribution works sometimes. Some of those Target ones kind of got lost in the shuffle. I think there was a little bit of a buildup. They didn't get out, so they went to third-party retailers like Big Lots that buy overstock, and that's where they went. And same thing with some of that stuff from Amazon, it looks like. So if you missed out on those, head to your local Big Lots. You might have a chance at picking some of those up. I would definitely pick up another Ultimate Warrior if I saw one. It's just, you know how it is. It's no warrior left behind. That's just the rule we live by out there. So there, check your Big Lots. And then Heels and Faces this week. We talk about them every week, it seems like. Zombie Sailor does an amazing job of getting at least, even if it's the most minuscule news, he gets it out there, and that's what you got to do. Keep your brand going. Keep it on the tip of your tongue. It's on the tip of this weekly purchases every single week. But he did announce where it was originally single-carded. It seems to have morphed to a 2-pack. We're going to get that Matt Cardona, Nick Gage. We've talked about both those figures in the past. They are being put together as a 2-pack. I know some people don't like that. I actually like that idea. Commemorate that. It's a little offshoot. It's not part of a regular series. Gets it out maybe possibly faster. We'll see, but I do like the idea of that 2-pack, so that is coming. And then we heard all about the chickens. Yes, old Roadkill, Angry Amish Roadkill, ECW staple back in the day. Hey, you had to be there. If you weren't into ECW, you're probably saying, what is this Amish guy and the chickens and all that all about? If you didn't live it, you don't understand. But we are getting a Heels and Faces of him. Going to really build out that ECW-style retro collection. I really like the idea of that. You guys know I love ECW, so I'll have to pick up Roadkill for sure. So I thought that was very interesting. FTC, yes, Figures Toy Company. We don't talk a lot about their figures. We might talk a little bit about them in weekly purchases, though, so stay tuned. But we got a little news this week as they continue bloody figures. We saw New Jack 6 months ago, 8 months ago. I can't remember when that New Jack bloody variant came out. Well, now we're getting a Mikey Whipwreck bloody variant. Get the most out of your molds. Get the most out of it, and that's what FTC seems to be doing. Traditionally, I'm not a huge Bloody Figures fan. I forget that old school, I guess it was Figure Toys Company back in the day. They had those Legends of Bloody Figures. Hot garbage. Hot garbage. I don't like those figures at all. But it seems like they're going a nod from the past. They're making bloody variants. So for you guys that love bloody figures, hey, here you go. Mikey Whipwreck, New Jack. You got some options out there. So I thought that was a little bit interesting. Pro Wrestling Crate this week announced their next themed crate. Mass and face paint. Are they preaching to me? Or are they saying, hey, Kyle, we're going to do a crate just for you with masks and face paint? Well, joke's on you, Pro Wrestling Tees. I'm not getting it, so there you go. But for you guys out there that love those crates, I've dabbled a couple of times. I don't know if they're quite for me. I don't like surprise. I don't like to gamble. You guys know I'm not a gambler. I'm no Kenny Rogers. But that is coming out, so if you're into that, you better take a look at that. Then we saw a pro wrestling wrestling figure message board, I should say. The wrestling figure message board, WFigs, I believe. Is that what it is? But Steve from Mattel does Q&As on there, answers questions and stuff. So we did get some updates out of Steve this week. A few look-sees ahead to a few things in the old Mattel stuff. He talked about the Ultimate Editions. And I guess somebody on there asked, is there going to be more current roster people in the Ultimate Editions? And it sounds like, yes, that is the case. Now, I take that step back. I don't like the idea of that. We've seen some of the current wrestlers, Shinsuke Nakamura, looking at you, a little clog the pegs a little bit on those Ultimate Editions. Those Ultimate Editions, they're bulkier, they're more expensive. They don't have quite as much peg room. They don't have quite as much distribution, at least as we're filming right now. I worry if you put some of the modern day guys, nothing against the modern day guys, but we know the legends sell better. It's just a proven fact out there. You put some of these younger stars in the Ultimate Edition line, it could clog the pegs and it could actually hurt the collection. We'll see what happens. They might have some exclusives. We'll see what happens. It's very early, but I would like it to stay to more legendary type wrestlers. I think that is a better move at this point. But we'll see. Hey, that's what they do for a living. They'll figure it out, and I'm sure they know best. So fingers crossed, but we'll see who we get out of current stars in the Ultimate Edition lineup out there. He also had talked about the Hollywood editions. Should be shipping Series 1 fairly soon, sometime this fall. Canada already getting them. They are stopping at Series 2. I think that's a pretty good idea. These little sublines like this, we saw it with Ghostbusters. Really hard to get at first, then clearanced out everywhere, discounted everywhere. I think you're going to see the same thing with the Hollywood line as well. I'm really excited for that Andre the Giant Bigfoot figure. I know a lot of people don't like that one, but I'm really excited for that one. And so it'll be interesting, but that's stopping at line 2, or Series 2 will be the end of the Hollywood stuff. We'll see if they just pick up the crown on a new line, or if there's something new that replaces it, or if it's just a one-off type thing, or two-off type of thing in this case. So more to come on that, but it sounds like it's dead after Series 2. We also heard that RVD, his upcoming Elite, will be double jointed on the elbows. Perfect. We all want to do the RVD thumbs. You got to pose him like that, and that's going to help us do that. So cool for Mattel to do that for us. They should do that for us. Val Venus, somebody asked about that, said it's possible. So he must be under a Legends deal, or he must have the rights to it. So we might see a Val Venus Elite. It's been a long time since we've had a Val Venus figure, going all the way back to the Ruthless Aggression days. So hopefully that happens. Talked about Elite 91 Hulk Hogan, more of a modern day Hulk Hogan coming out. I believe Elite 91, isn't that the more modern day one? I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but either or, he is going to have a molded shirt, which we really don't like. Kind of like that American-made one we got in the past, the ringside exclusive. It tears away at the front, but it's the Polly Pocket style. It sounds like that's going to be the case. I was hoping it would be more cloth goods, like we saw with the latest Survivor Series release. Apparently not, though, so I don't know. Sorry to upset some of you out there, and myself included. So the last bit of news was it sounds like an Elimination Chamber and a Hell in a Cell playset is possible as the next crowdfunding or crowdfunding down the line. They have the ring. Now they can add to it with these things. I don't think it would be the ring included. Maybe they'd offer the ring as a second option to buy on or an add-on. But it'd be cool to get a Hell in a Cell. It'd be cool to get an Elimination Chamber. But I know a lot of collectors like myself, you only have so much room for so many rings. I mean, I'm not going to put a Hell in the Cell here, an Elimination Chamber, a regular one, a War Games. Then you get your AEW rings, and you got your Hasbro rings, and your Retro rings. How many rings does a guy need? Normally I'd say how many are you going to make, but not in this case. Ring overload. I hope the next Mattel crowdfunding, Mattel Creations, whatever we're going to call it, I hope it is wrestling figure based. I hope it's a deep cut or a box set or something special. That's my hope for the next one. Stay tuned. I'm sure we'll get more of that in the future. So there you go. That's the wrestling news this week. Kind of a lot of wrestling news. We'll see what comes out. We should have some new elites coming fairly soon. I mean, it seems like it's been a while, but I guess it hasn't been that long. So more elites to come. I guess I shouldn't be saying elites. That just came recently, but Unrivaled, we should get Series 7, I would hope, fairly soon. We've seen some in-shot pictures that have been leaked out there. Hopefully those are shipping in the next couple of weeks. It would be great if we could get a AEW 1 month, Mattel the next, AEW the next, Mattel, you know, kind of a little base there. That'd be nice if they could get that on the same thing instead of all coming at once. for our wallet's sake. Let's see. We'll see. But this week, outside of wrestling, we had Super 7 have some news this week. They're going to do another one of those stay-at-home cons at the beginning of October. So we should get a lot of updates, a lot of things from them. Hopefully some future line announcements, maybe some new Simpsons announcements for Series 2, maybe some of that kind of stuff. They also announced this week, unfortunately, Cheetara from the much saddened Thundercats line for me. I think I pre-ordered in February of 2020 Thundercats Series 2. It sounds like it'll probably be February 2022 when those arrive. So basically 2 years of them sitting on my money. Unbelievable. It's crazy. But Cheetara, they had issues with her from the factory. She is not shipping. She is being delayed. But they are doing a make good, very similar to Panthro. They are giving us an extra head with the glowing eyes that they did like with Panthro when they messed up on that one. They're doing the same thing for Cheetara, having a little make good there. But it is unfortunate. Hopefully that series, though, I will get Slythe and the rest of those hopefully fairly soon. And we can unbox those on the channel. But Super 7, always difficult, always challenging, but beautiful figures more times than not. And we're going to talk a little more Super 7 later in this episode here, so be ready for that. So very interesting times with Super 7. And then Hasbro PulseCon, we know all about that one. That is coming at the very end of October. I want to say the 22nd, 23rd. Be lots of news, lots of pre-orders, so start saving your pennies because there's going to be a ton of pre-orders that day and you don't want to miss out on those. So that's coming soon, along with Super 7 Con. So a lot of figure news coming in October as we prepare for the upcoming holiday season, which might be struggling this year, as it was on the news, actually. I saw it on the CBS and NBC News this week, I believe. Both had reports on it. The shipyards are full. We've known that for a long time. There's 75 ships currently with containers stuck waiting to be unloaded. I guess they've told China, stop sending stuff, we can't get to it. And they're saying specifically toys for the holiday season, there might be a shortage this year. So it's interesting. We've talked a lot about on the channel how last year there was no clearance, no after Christmas clearance. This year would have been the year for clearance, and we're already seeing it right now. There's clearance on the shelves. This Christmas would be a big clearance for you long gamers out there. But with this port issues we're seeing in the news right now, I have a feeling a lot of stuff will sell, and we won't have the after clearance because the product's not coming. That seems to be the case. Hopefully some things slip through, but it might be okay for our wallets. We might get a little bit of a break and maybe delay some figures coming to us, which would delay the back end of everything else and kind of bottle that up as usual. And then we'll save some money in the long run, but it'll take a little bit longer to get the figures we want. Very eloquently said by me. But what do you do? But we also saw this week, too, moving on to Hasbro, moving on from the boring shipping stuff that we all hate to talk about and we hate to hear about. But moving on to Hasbro, a figure announcement of Warduke and Grimsworld from Dungeons & Dragons. I have no idea on Dungeons & Dragons. Obviously, I've heard of it, but I know absolutely zero about it. I have zero characters, zero gameplay. I don't know anything about it, but these figures look pretty cool. They caught my attention. I could see mixing these guys in with maybe your He-Man figures, He-Man Masters Universe Classic figures. They look pretty solid, so I'm going to take a little closer look at these, especially that Grimsword or Grimsworld or however you pronounce it. He looks pretty interesting. He's very toyetic, as they say, so I'm interested in that one. We'll see. I might dabble, but how many new lines do you need to start? That's the thing. But thought those were very interesting. Thought I would ask and talk about those a little bit. And then we also saw from McFarlane a line that I thought was totally dead, the Raw 10 line, the Walmart exclusive. We know we got those Cobras, and then most importantly, Cygor, which we finally got on the channel a few weeks ago. They announced Pterodon and Rhino. Both very interesting, both kind of the same aesthetics as the previous Raw 10 figures, but a little something different about these. I'm all out. I'm not picking up either one of these. They don't do anything for me. The snakes were cool because I could put them with my Cobra display. Cygor, I got memories of Cygor in the old Spawn days. I can put him with Spawn. I love gorillas. That makes sense. I'll do that. Pterodon, Rhino, have nothing to do with either of those. Unless you want a futuristic Rhino in your Marvel Comics, which doesn't really make sense to me either. But those are coming out later this fall and Walmart exclusive once again out there. So very, very interesting, I thought, with those two. And I thought that Raw 10 line was totally done, but apparently not. NECA this week, bringing some fire once again. But I said last week, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. Now we're to like fool me 4 times, but I'm not falling for it. I haven't fallen for it after the first one. On Friday, the Frogs and the Foot Soldier went up for pre-order. Well, I know very well what that means. Hey, you pre-order, they ship in like a couple of weeks if you're lucky, and then guess what? They hit the stores the very next week. And we already saw that. The Frogs have started showing up in California. So I'm glad I didn't pre-order that. I'm not paying, I think it's $2 more than at least my Targets, plus $14 shipping. I'm saving that $16. I'm in the stores. And the Frogs, we saw the Frogs last time everywhere in my areas. I think these Frogs, being just simple repaints, will be everywhere as well. So I'm not too concerned about the Frogs, but frog anxiety, starting up, and I will be on the lookout this week in my hunts. Maybe I'll get lucky. I'll come across those Frogs later on next week, so stay tuned to the channel for that. We also saw a curveball. I would call this a curveball from NECA, or maybe a knuckleball. Alf. They're bringing Alf to us in NECA, and I love Alf. I was a kid of the 80s. I watched Alf as a kid. It'd be very interesting to see, but this figure looks awesome. And the accessories that show in there, I assume these are coming with the Alf, just next level. Everybody's going to have Alf in their collection. We need Alf. So they made the Golden Girls. They've made Alf. Now it's time to make my favorite 80s sitcom figures. I think I need to get a beeline to NECA. I need their help with this. We need Webster figures. Yes, Webster, he stole our hearts as a young child, never let go. Emmanuel Lewis, after all these years, still stole my heart. I think if I could meet any celebrity in the world, it'd probably be Emmanuel Lewis. I'm not big on meeting people, but I'd say hi to Webster. That'd be cool. I'd say, what was George Papadopoulos all about? You know, Alex Cross, one of the greats of all time, greatest actors of all time. An amazing show, Webster. Give us Ma'am, give us George, give us Webster, give us all those. And while you're at it, give us different strokes. Give us Willis and Arnold and Kimberly and Mr. Drummond. Give us all these. Give us these 80s sitcom figures. Start with Alf. You started with Golden Girls. Let's move down, and then we'll go from there. We'll see where it goes, but Webster, you'd be printing money with Webster for me. Give me Webster all day long. So that's NECA this week, and then we got Target. We know every Friday they're releasing different toy lines. I believe Marvel is the one at the first Friday of October, so be prepared for that one. I'm hoping for some good stuff there. This Friday, though, was a big Star Wars announcement. Star Wars pre-order on Target.com. Some new Star Wars figures from the Vintage Collection and Black Series. So only one Black Series figure, and it was the Droids version of Boba Fett. So very interesting. I know why they would go with him as Boba Fett. Mania is about ready to sweep. We've had Mandalorian Madness. Now we're moving on to Boba Fett Mania, as we're getting the Book of Boba Fett show. Probably the most popular bounty hunter of all time, outside of Dog the Bounty Hunter. If you watch my Star Wars video this week, we talked about some of the world's greatest bounty hunters, and I think we figured out Dog the Bounty Hunter is actually the best bounty hunter of all time. You know, look into it. Look into that video. You don't want to miss it. But Boba Fett, it's going to be the Droids type packaging, a throwback. And then the other ones are the 3 3/4 Vintage Collection. You're getting C-3PO. You're getting R2-D2. And then you're getting Boba Fett in 3 3/4. So the Vintage Collection ones were easy passes for me. They were easy passes for me as a little kid. I said, I don't need these Droids things. I didn't like the Droids cartoon. I might go back and watch it. It's been many, many a moon since I've watched it, but I'm guessing it doesn't hold up a ton, at least for me. But it'll be interesting to see how those sell. I'm sure they'll go very well because Star Wars fans, they love everything. But I'm passing on the Vintage Collection. I did put a pre-order in on the 6-inch Black Series. I can always return it. I could always sell it, but I said I better get it in because I might change my mind. So I'm on the fence on that one. Figured better to pre-order than just skip altogether. But the Vintage Collection, I skipped altogether. But I'd be interested to see, are you guys picking up those Droids? They just don't interest me. They didn't interest me when I was a little kid, and they just don't interest me now as I'm much, much older from a little kid. So very interesting. But something that did interest me this week, Walmart exclusive. I know we hate exclusives, but Walmart is getting an exclusive comic version of Doctor Strange. Truthfully, one of my most wanted comic figures is I don't have a comic Doctor Strange in my collection. Outside of that Build-A-Figure line from the Doctor Strange movie. It's kind of comic-based, but it's not the classic comic-based we think of when we close our eyes and we think Doctor Strange. So I'm excited to get this. I am by no means a Doctor Strange expert, not even in my top 10 fandoms of Marvel superheroes, but he's one you have to have in your collection. So I'm excited to get this. Walmart exclusive, like I said, it'll be interesting. No idea when it's going up for pre-order, but I have to think sometime in October. I think that'll be the case, so be prepared for Doctor Strange. I know a lot of people have been looking for that one. And then we saw from Amazon Canada, we talked about it last week, Stridor from He-Man. It looks like that's the next vehicle, horse, whatever we're going to call him. We'll call him a vehicle. That's coming as Amazon Canada put up a product images of it, and I think it said currently unavailable, but you know it's going to come in stock soon, so be on the lookout for that. Masters Universe Origins, Stridor. I got to think Night Stalker is going to come eventually. That's too easy of a layup, so I think we'll get that one eventually, but yeah, that seems to be the next vehicle from the He-Man Origins line. So very, very interesting stuff. So that's it. That's the news for this week. Now we turn our attention to Album of the Week this week. Currently, as we speak right now, as this video is dropping, I should be at Knotfest. Knotfest is like 40 minutes from my house, maybe that. I was all set, but I said, you know what? In this day and age, here's a pro tip for you. You concert goers probably know this, and I'm a guy that used to go before COVID to 100 plus concerts a year. I was at a lot of shows every year. Wait to the last minute to buy your tickets. Unless it's something you know you can't miss, you need front row for, wait to the last minute because tickets drop. They get extremely cheap. You'll get comp tickets, that kind of stuff. And that's what I was waiting for Knotfest. But Faith No More, one of my favorite bands of all time, the band that really ushered me into heavy metal, and a band I've been wanting to see since 1989, if you can believe that. I've never had the opportunity to see them. I was too young in '89 to go to the Guns N' Roses Metallica Faith No More show. I'd take my kids in a heartbeat, but back then they didn't do that with kids. So I have never seen Faith No More. I was finally going to see them, and of course, as you guys probably saw last week, Faith No More has canceled all tour dates. Mr. Bungle's canceled tour dates. So obviously no Knotfest. Now, the only other band I wanted to see at Knotfest was Megadeth, but they're only playing 45 minutes, and I've seen Megadeth 15 times maybe in my life. I said, I'm not going down to a festival, all that work for only an hour of Megadeth. It just doesn't work for me. And Slipknot, the headliner, I've seen Slipknot so many times over the years. I went to high school with Slipknot. Who can say that? They were years older than me, but I was in the same high school, same town, currently live in the same town they were from. So Slipknot's been around my area. That's old hat. I don't need to see Slipknot. And they're just never been my cup of tea, really, for whatever reason. I like my metal, and some I don't like, and just like everybody else. So I'm passing on Knotfest. A little disappointed. I really wanted to see Faith No More. We'll see. Will I ever get to see Faith No More? I have to hold out hope one of these days I will. But Album of the Week this week, 30th anniversary. I cannot believe it. This is how you know you're getting old, when 30th anniversaries of crucial albums that you love. And we're talking about No More Tears from Ozzy Osbourne. I still remember the day buying it at Target. I was on a figure hunt with my dad. Yes, I was. Surprise, surprise. Little Kyle was out there 30 years ago this week, or last week, whenever the 30th anniversary technically was. I was out there and I had to beg to get it, and I got No More Tears on cassette. That was my first Ozzy cassette album, whatever we want to call it. I obviously had heard of this young Zakk Wylde character, but this one took it to the next level. One of my favorite Ozzy albums of all time. It doesn't hurt that Lemmy, and I didn't know Motorhead at the time, but Lemmy co-wrote Mama I'm Coming Home, Hellraiser, a lot of songs on that album. So of course, I love Lemmy. That was my start of my Lemminess. So I was all in on this, and I remember getting it at Target on cassette. I also got, yes, guess what I got? Hasbro Macho King, Macho Man figure. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the Macho King at the time, but I very vividly remember getting those. So very interesting, 30 years to know exactly where roughly you were at that exact moment, buying Ozzy on cassette at my local Target down the road from me. And also picking up the Macho King Hasbro. What a day for young Kyle, and really changed my life forever. So 30 years ago, my life was really changed forever, and that's a favorite album of mine. It really got me in harder into heavy metal from there, and it just exploded from there. So there you go. Crazy stuff, but No More Tears, that's the album of the week. And they even released a new song, a mashup of Lemmy and Ozzy singing Hellraiser. Check it out. It was okay. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be. I prefer, off of March or Die, the Motorhead album, I prefer that version of just Lemmy by himself. But that's me. I'm a bigger Lemmy fan. But got to check that one out. If you haven't heard No More Tears in 30 years, what are you waiting for? You might as well check it out once again. So there it is. There's the news of the week. There's Album of the Week. Let's get down to it. Let's get down to the weekly purchases. All right, let's get down to the weekly purchases. It should have been a bigger week, but I'm blaming you, FedEx. I guess next week maybe, and hopefully Sentinel Watch continues, and I get Sentinels next week. Stay tuned for that. But this week, one of my most anticipated figures of the year finally came through the door just minutes before I started weekly purchases. So at least I got something I was really looking forward to this week, and that is my boy, King Diamond. Yes, Super 7 King Diamond. I couldn't be more excited to get this one. I can't wait to crack this bad boy open. Look at those extra accessories. I love King Diamond. I love heavy metal. Putting them together in figure form, sign me up all day long. Where's my Lemmy Super 7 figure? Where's my Rob Halford? Where's my Bruce Dickinson? Let's get those moving Super 7. But I am so excited for King Diamond. Face paint, heavy metal, action figure. Ooh, sign me up all day long. So very excited about this King Diamond figure through the door this week. Just breathtaking. Breathtaking packaging. I hope it lives up to it once we get it out of the package. We'll see what happens. If you guys were watching my figure hunt this week, some surprises out there in the wild, and I couldn't pass these up for the price. I believe I already have these, but Retro Captain America, Retro Black Panther, and Retro Daredevil. Yes, you saw it though. In my figure hunting video, I had to do a double take with the camera and all. I said, wait a minute, it said $250 price point. I found a scanner, checked them. $250 each is what they're selling them for at this Walmart. I said, you know what? I already have these, but what the heck, I'll buy them. I can put it with my Star Wars display as kind of a joke, or most likely, we're getting closer to 10,000 subscribers. We're going to do a lot of giveaways when we hit 10,000 subscribers. Make sure you subscribed, and I might give these away. See you later. See you later. See you later. So stay tuned for that. I might give those away on the channel here very soon. How about a little G.I. Joe? You guys know I love my G.I. Joe. New Walmart Retro Cobra Officer. Found this week out on the Fig Hunt, as you guys saw. Found that one, and then I found Old Grunt, a sleeper G.I. Joe character. Definitely not one of the big names out there. Very plain Jane, but an original Joe. So we got Robert Graves out there. One of the best old school G.I. Joe episodes involved Grunt, if you ask me. But got both of those, so got those off my list. I did not pre-order those, so I was very happy to find those in the store. And then I finally broke down, finally picked it up. You guys saw it on the channel. Trapjaw. Yes, I had Skeletor. I found Trapjaw, and I got caught at a weak moment at my local Walmart, and I said, you know what? I'm picking up Trapjaw, and that's exactly what I did. So I got Trapjaw, and then GameStop had a sale going on this week, and for $19, they had Beastman exclusive. So I said, you know what? I got to get Beastman eventually. I might as well save $10, and that's exactly what I did. So I got the Beastman exclusive via GameStop this week. So I have Skeletor, I have Beastman, I have Trapjaw. Got to get that He-Man. I know he's $26 or so on Amazon. I might play a little bit more of that long game. Those are really good figures to get when you haven't found anything for a while. You need a jump start. You need a shot in the arm when you can't find something. And that's what I'll probably do. But I'll get that He-Man eventually. Some of you guys that are more entwined in the pop world, you may know. Are they going to build more of those? Are we going to get like a Merman or a Man-at-Arms or a Tila in those sizes? If you guys know the answer, let me know. So there you go. All right, now I got a Jakks Classic Superstar. Yes, a Jakks Classic Superstar. Every Tuesday on the channel, you guys know we're deep diving through it all. This is one I passed on many times over the year. Not a very expensive figure. It's technically a Classic Superstar, but not technically a Classic Superstar. And I said, you know what? I found one at a very cheap price. I said, I'm just going to pull the trigger just to have it. And it's Andre the Giant. Video game exclusive from GameStop. Andre the Giant Classic Superstar Series 1. It's in a bag. Never been opened, all that kind of fun stuff. So there you go, Andre the Giant. I officially have it. Kind of just had it to say I have it. One of those kind of things. But it technically counts, but it technically doesn't count. One of those gray areas. We talked about Yokozuna in this week's video. It's a very gray area. I asked in that video, is it Classic Superstars or is it not? Kind of 50-50. So you guys check out that video and let me know yourself. I got a little bit of Wyatt Jim stuff. I forgot this the last couple of weeks. I've had this for a while, but never showed it. Gonna make a custom Bray Wyatt, so stay tuned. Maybe I'll do a video on some easy customs out there. I might do a video on that in the next couple of weeks somewhere when I find some time. So be prepared. Now we talked about Figures Toy Company earlier in the video with the Mikey Whipwreck, New Jack Bloody variants. Well, I did pick up a Figures Toy Company wrestling figure this week. We don't do them very often. I can count on one hand. I think I have New Jack, Shane Douglas, the Blue Meanie, the Demon, Mikey Whipwreck. Count on one hand the 5 I own in my collection. Well, now I own 6. I had to pick this one up. My boy, PCO. PCO stole my heart many moons ago. Way back in the WWE, I respected him back then. But when he came back as the monster PCO, and I went to a local indie show not far from my house and saw him and Walter go at it right there from the front row with my daughter, he stole my heart and never let go from that moment on. So I said, you know what? They're coming out with PCO. He finally went up for sale after being announced over a year ago, probably. I said I had to pull the trigger. So we're going to unbox this on the channel. We'll do some comparisons. You can somewhat smoke and mirrors these guys. They smoke and mirrors much better with Jakks figures. but I had to get PCO, and I've always found face-painted and more appareled figures sometimes look better from the FTC company, so we'll discuss this in a long-form video, but I did get PCO this week, so I was very happy with that one. Got a big figure this week. One of my Amazon pre-orders came in. I always love it when you pre-order a ton of stuff from Amazon and they just kind of sneak through one day. You're not expecting it. You open a package. Oh my gosh, I didn't know this was coming out. That's exactly where I went with the Spider-Man Throwback 2099. Spider-Man 2099, I'll never forget whatever magical day that was. Was it 1996, 95, 97? I don't know what year it was. And they came out with all these Marvel 2099 comics. I remember buying every single one. Oh, I gotta have the first editions of all these. Some were more successful than others, and of course Spider-Man is one that stole a lot of people's hearts, never let go. But I didn't have the old version of Spider-Man 2099, so I was very excited to get this one, and it came through the door this week via Amazon. I believe Webman is coming next week, if I remember correctly, so stay tuned for that one. Here's an interesting one. I've been playing that long game. I've had the angel, I've had the devil on my shoulders for many a weeks. I keep coming across these. Well, this week the devil finally won, and I finally picked him up. Who did I get? I got old Joker, McFarlane Joker right there. I got young Burt Ward, old Robin right there. I got Robin. And if you got those two, you know where we're going next. You had to pick this one up. Had to get Batman. So I got all three of these guys. Now I'm like, okay, I'm all in. I better pick up that Batmobile. You saw me in my figure hunting videos. I turned down so many Batmobiles for the last month. Now they're nowhere to be found. I'm sure I'll come across one. There'll be restocks of them. They don't seem to really set the world on fire, but I'm going to have to pick up the Batmobile. So yeah, Batman 66 through the door. Crazily enough, this is my Batman. I know a lot of people like the 89 Batman. For me, it was Super Friends cartoon and the old school Batman as a little kid watching reruns. That's where I loved Batman, and still to this day, Adam West is my Batman, which I'm very weird, and I'm most like 60, 70-year-olds would probably say that, but not, you know, me of my age. So there you go. Back to wrestling this week via Amazon once again. $9.99 shipped. I got old Dexter Loomis. First time in the line. Had to pick him up. I love Dexter Loomis. I love his character. Just creepy. I like it a lot. I like his crazy tattoos he's got going on. So I had to pick that up this week. First time in the line. I'm sure we'll get an Elite of him one day, but nothing's been announced. So I said I might as well jump on this one now. So there it is. How about Major Wrestling Figure Podcast? They send you a card every single week. I got a card every single week, every single month, I should say. Let's see what I got this week. We always unbox these on the channel, open these, whatever you want to call it. We'll see. Did I get a plain Jane card? Did I get an autograph card? Did I get an exclusive card? What did I get? It's the $1 million question. Much like the $1 Million Man. Let's see. Let's see. See you later. All right, what do I got? So I got two cards. I got Chelsea Green, Hot Mess. I'm thinking that's a variant edition. I might be wrong. I might be right. I'm not sure, but I got her this week. And then I got old Jeremy Padower on the other side. So old Jeremy. Too bad I didn't get an autograph Jeremy. That would have been nice, but that's what I got this week. So I got Chelsea Green. I'll probably sell that as I don't collect cards. My days of cards are for the most part over. I sold all my card collections. We trug on with another one. Got my mint on box, Scarlet. I still need to get another Akiko. Played a little long game. I don't have to get her right away. She'll be around. But I got Scarlet this week for my mint on card set. We unboxed Scarlet on the channel this week. I do like that Scarlet. I think that is the best of the new Snake Eyes figures. And one of these days, I'll see that Snake Eyes movie. I know some people said don't see it, but one of these days, I will see it. So stay tuned for that. Now we turn over to Mattel Creations. They came in hot. I got 2 Masters of the Universe deliveries this week, so I was very excited about that. The old Terror of Triclops. Yes, Triclops, mini comic exclusive Mattel Creations. I got 2 of these through the door this week. The old fan vote winner. So I got 2 of them. One for on card, one to open up, so stay tuned for that on the channel. And then the big one, the one I've been waiting for. You guys know I've talked about it with King Diamond. I love skulls. I love heavy metal. I love face paint. And who exonifies that in the Masters of the Universe collection? Who represents skulls? Well, I guess Skeletor does, honestly. Most people think Skeletor, but me, I'm going with Scareglow. And my Scareglow finally shipped. Got 1, got 2. Got 2 Scareglows. I'm not sure if I need 2 of these. We'll see what happens. But I'm definitely unboxing one of these. I cannot wait. The packaging is absolutely next level. So I'm very excited to dive in and check out what this Scareglow has to offer. We do know there's a regular release Scareglow coming in, I believe, in Series 3. So 3, 4, 5 months from now, you'll get your own Scarecrow at the store if you're looking for that. Or I'm sure these have started hitting eBay. I'd have to imagine if I got them, everybody else probably got them as well. But very, very excited to dig into 2 Masters of the Universe figures. One from the Revelations line, one from the Origins line. So some exciting times on the channel. I'd look forward to this review, most likely PCO this week. I want to dig in and see what all the fuss is about with old PCO. So we'll dive into that and some other usual surprises. And like I said, I'll be on the road this week. So figure hunting video next week could be a pretty big one. We'll see how long it is. I might even have to break it into 2 videos. We'll see how that goes. But hopefully I get a lot of fun stuff out on the road. Hopefully I come across some stuff. Hopefully I come across Warlord. The person that has pushed for the Warlord, talked about the Warlord the most in the world, probably me, is the last one to get Warlord once again. So I don't know how that goes. Just unbelievable. But this week has to be my week for Warlord. So hopefully I find him out there on the hunt, as well as a few other things I need to find. So there it is. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Especially subscribe. As you guys know, we're dangerously close to 10,000 subscribers, about 400 away. With that, we're going to have giveaways. We're going to have a top 10 Ultimate Warrior. I'm probably going to do a Q&A video. Be on the lookout in my social media, at SirPaul64 on Twitter, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram. Follow both of those. I will put a Q&A post up there where you guys can leave your questions. If you have any questions for me, I'll do a Q&A video for the 10,000 subscribers. I'm going to try to get my dad. Hopefully by then we'll have Warlord. Him and I can hopefully unbox him and at least talk a little Warlord action on the channel. Like I said, the Ultimate Warrior top 10 plus a bunch of giveaways. So let's get us to 10,000. Let's get over that hump and let's get that done. Hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, so we'll see. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as usual. And make sure you go to ProWrestlingTees.com for that new Rio shirt. I got to order myself one as well. I'm sure it'll give you great figure hunting luck. Everybody loves Rio, and it's time to commemorate it, as she is slowly fading away from the shelves, unfortunately. It's going to be a sad, sad day when we don't see any more Rios out there. So make sure you pick up a t-shirt to celebrate our time of 2021 with Rio. So there you have it. A lot of news, a lot of weekly purchases, a lot of strutting and strolling, rocking and rolling my way into the weekend. See you guys all real soon.